very, very special guest with us today. And it's none other than Derek Thompson, or Tommo, who is with us today. And it is a great occasion, I suppose a bit sad, Neil, as well. But we wanted to pay tribute to a great man, Derek Thompson, fondly known as Tommo. And we just wanted to ask him first up, Neil, if you were well, because we thought you were.
Do you love this? I just say, are you well? I thought you were. Isn't it sad? Years and years ago, I was doing a promo for a hotel. And I did this is the famous hotel. And let's go inside. And I walked inside, just like where you are, in sort of a bar. And there were the ladies there who were part of the act. And I just walked up, picked up a glass of champagne and said, are you well? I thought you were. And I have no idea why I said it. And now people come up to me in the when you go to the shopping centre or whatever. Are you well? I thought you were, and walk on. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
I Googled a lot about you before chatting to you, and I saw that whole thing went like, well, they don't use the words back then as they do now, but it went viral on a radio show. So some chap who you eventually met took it and kept using it, and the whole line had its own life on a whole radio chat. Is that right?
It's absolutely incredible. My son rang me from Scotland. He used to play fullback for Scotland, Jim Thompson. And he said, Dad, you're on Radio 1. I said, what? Yeah, he said, you're on Radio 1, the Greg James show. I said, well, now the Greg James show is the most listened to radio show. They get about 10 million listens every day. But it's for people with between, aged 5 and 20, So I haven't listened to it for a long time. And I listened to it, and it was me. Are you well? I thought you were. And Greg rang me after the show and said, Tommo, my name's Greg James. I said, yes. And it went on from there. And then we did a few gigs together. Can you imagine that, doing a few gigs together? And then somebody wrote a song about it. It went to #1 in the charts. Isn't it crazy?
This is why Nico said there's an element of sadness about you retiring. I actually don't think there is at all, matey, because what a career, what a celebration. And I want to bring up, because I mentioned to you that a very good friend of ours, none other than Terry Payne, MBE, when we told him we were going to chat to you this morning, he said, oh, Tommo, what a voice. Send him my best.
You're very good at the impressions, I tell you.
Yes.
He's one of my heroes. I used to watch him as a kid. He used to play for Southampton, England. He's had a few horses as well. He is one of the ultimate sporting heroes. So, and you've got him with you now. So give him my very best, Terry Payne, and tip him a winner, because he could do with one.
No, I wanted to just bring up something, Tommo, where we met, Neil. So I went to, I think it was Qatar back in 2011. In 2011, or it could have been a bit later than that, but bottom line was, or even 2010. And I was lying by the poolside at the hotel.
As you do.
And I was sunbathing. And then I was minding my own business and I was falling asleep. And I heard this voice walk past me. And I said, that's Derek Thompson. I said, but where on earth would he be? And I looked up and I went to go and introduce him, myself to him. But Tommo, I don't know if you remember that, because Tommo took me under his wing, didn't know me from a bar of soap, and said, just stick with me, I'll make you famous. And the rest is history, isn't it?
That is absolutely incredible. The true story of that, he was on my sunbed at the time. and he was falling asleep. Yeah, it was good, that trip, wasn't it? And do you remember that hotel? It didn't have a bar in it, did it? So,
That's right.
It's true.
That's right.
And when there's no bar in a hotel, that's when you want to drink. It's so annoying, isn't it?
But we did find something. You and I did manage to squeak in something there.
Yes, so we did. So the good old days, yeah. And that's before guitar became famous. It's now famous, hosted the World Cup and all that.
Absolutely,
yeah. Incredible. Aren't we lucky? We've traveled to all these places. And it's thanks to horses that we were there. So that's the beauty of our business. We've traveled the world, because of horses, and our thanks to them. They can't thank us. Well, they can, by winning at 20-1, and we hope you're on there. But it's lovely. It's the racing world, the horse world, and it's thanks to them that we've travelled and met some of the most incredible people in the world.
Tommo, I was sharing this with Terry actually this morning, because on the way here I had a long chat with him, and I said I've discovered stuff about Tommo that I never knew, and he didn't either. I want to start with one of those, and that is that I had no idea that you were part of this triumvirate of people who were involved in trying to negotiate the return of Shergar. And that was what this information told me. Now, I don't know if you can fill in a bit of details, but that must have been experience. I have to tell you, Terry said straight away, he couldn't have been very good. He didn't come back. So
I know.
But share is that a fact?
Yeah, Shergar, you remember, had won the Derby by 10 lengths. Absolutely incredible. And he went off to become the world's most valuable stallion in Ireland. And then he was kidnapped from his stud. He was owned by His Highness the Aga Khan. And I got a phone call in the middle of the night in my hotel in London saying the kidnappers have asked for you to negotiate for the release of Shergar. You've got to travel to Belfast in the morning. So what? So yeah, it happened. And when I got to the hotel, which was the most bombed hotel in Europe, so it wasn't, and going to Belfast, it was not a nice place at that time. It was the height of the Troubles. You couldn't get out of a car or anything like that. And it said, a phone call from Mr. Thompson as I walked in the hotel. Picked up the hotel phone. He said, we're watching you from across the street. And I'm thinking, wow. Oh my goodness, and I've got the world's press around me. And I'm looking out, and this, it's frightening. Anyway, so cut a long story short, I think I did about 10 phone calls with the guy. The police were involved and everything. And we went to Jeremy Maxwell's stable just outside Belfast. And the world's press, where is the world's greatest racehorse, blah, blah, blah. And apparently, if I kept him talking for a minute and a half, they could trace the call. And I had the policeman sitting next to me with the headphones on. While I was talking to the guy on the phone. And the phone went dead after 1 minute, 32 seconds. And I turned to the policeman. I said, did we trace the call? And he said, no, I'm sorry. The man who traces the call went off shift at midnight. So I'll never forget that.
Brilliant.
I'm not blaming him, but that was it. And then the phone call came through at 7 in the morning. The horse has had an accident. He's dead. And we've never, it was horrifying. I feel so sorry for the horse, because he hadn't done anything. It's bad enough kidnapping humans, but kidnapping a horse, there are rumors, and we have actually just been filming over in Belfast a documentary which will be coming out soon